go over what we're looking at. So here is our outer edge or our slingshot outer zone trade. This is one yesterday we talked about before it exploded to the upside. I gave you about a 30-minute heads up on it. Let's go over exactly how you want to use the indicator strategy. Gerald has all the programs that we went over yesterday, and he's wrapping these new programs for you. This is one of the programs you're going to be getting is the outer zone, or we call the outer edge buy setup. What will happen is we have a zone. These are zones right here. This is our zone that we have back tested for over 30 years of data. So it's our highest probability reversal zone. This is the S&P. And you can see that when you get into this outer edge zone, you get into this outer edge zone here, it lets you know that you have a possible reversal in the S&P. Now the cool thing about this is we have the indicator and the strategy for you that we're wrapping and getting out to you guys. So this can be indicator based, meaning once this yellow candle fires, you will get an audible alert that comes off on your speakers indicating to you on this setup at 50.97 that the S&P is possibly reversing, and we're all the way up to 06 already, almost 10 points on the S&P from this buy setup. So this is called our, it'll be named the outer edge, SIM outer edge setup. Like I said, it'll be two things. It'll be an indicator. I'll show you the strategy in a second. We have an indicator based, bear with my voice here, guys. We have an indicator with an alarm for your speakers when this fires off. And two, if you want a strategy in, meaning use the Ninja strategy, you can strategy in, which I'll show you in a second. So you have an indicator or strategy. So it's kind of cool if you're an indicator-based trader, no worries. We come to our outer zone that's been tested over time, and you get a reversal. So the key for this setup is this, is that you want to get outside of this outer zone right here. It's got to get outside, and then the candle's got to close back inside. So once it closes back inside, that candle's automatically going to turn yellow, and then you're going to get a audible alert in your speaker, and then you're going to get an audible alert. This is a zone breakout. So the second setup we have in our room is called a zone breakout. And a zone breakout is where the market doesn't get a deep retracement. It gets more of a shallow retracement, and the market is getting a shallow retracement, and it's looking to not get into this outer zone, but it stays above our zone because there's a trend filter. If it's green, we're buying. If it's red, we're selling. So this is where all the counter trend traders got taken to the woodshed yesterday because they kept shorting the market. Well, our zone breakout, called the breakout, at 50.81 and it went as high as 51.07 3/4. So just a beautiful move, right around 27, 28 points on the S&P on the breakout. But let's concentrate on the outer zone for 1 second, because this is a setup that I gave way before it happened. So when I got in the room yesterday on the microphone, right here, I was talking about this setup around 8:35, 8:40. I gave you almost an hour heads up. We talked about it all the way to 9 o'clock. For 35 to 40 minutes, I really went over this, saying if we get into this outer zone, look for an outer zone trade. So look how big a heads up you get. We started talking about this at 8:35 on the mic, all the way to 9 o'clock. And at 9:30, or at 9:40, I'm sorry, this is my time of day trade. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows that 9:40 is one of my best trading time zones to look for reversals. It came down inside the zone. You guys were prepared for it. A lot of you traders got on it via your text in the room. You got down into the zone. You close at least one candle inside of it. We got a reverse back inside of it. It reversed. The candle turned yellow. Your audible alert will go off, and the auto strategy will get you in at that level. at 57.5, 57.75, and then it just rambled all the way up to 77. So 20 S&P point potential move for you traders. I keep telling traders that after you have an outer zone slingshot, you have a high probability zone breakout, which we did there, and we had a zone breakout. So now we're looking right here. We're looking for a zone breakout right now. So as we look at if we get another close outside of this level, we're in an imbalanced market. We're going to have a zone breakout. This candle is going to turn yellow. So let me get this out of the way so I don't hide this setup coming up right now. We have a zone breakout coming out currently. We do have a strategy to go with this. This is what your indicator is going to look like. This is the indicator itself and the strategy that you're going to get. I have all the settings preset for you guys. I got everything set for you. This is a 12 sim Renko, going 90 days back. So obviously we all know past performance is not indicative of future results. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. But we can see how the strategy performed over the last 90 days, and you can see on the last 90 days it's done quite well. In fact, this week is just really done well. So you can see since all the way we're down to around just under this mark right here since going 30 days back with 4 contracts. So it's done very, very, very well as far as that goes, as far as the strategy. So we know that statistically speaking, this outer zone does very, very well. Not only with the outer zone has been tested 30 years with an artificial intelligence program. We've seen it in the room. We see in the room, it comes down, bounces. I mean, this is just not by luck that it comes down, gets in this outer zone, takes off, outer zone, takes off, outer zone, takes off. Yesterday, I gave you a big heads up on it. And then we were talking about it way back here at this level, 835 to 840. I was talking about watch for the outer zone, watch for the outer zone. And it comes down, gets back inside. Indicator would fire a yellow bar here. The strategy got long at 50.75. Got as high as 50, like I said, 50.76. And the strategy had a nice trade of 50.71. Getting to the outer zone, looking for that follow through. Now, I have this only trading on the strategy on that statistically speaking, between power hour from 9 to 10. I have that set up for your own computers. Now, it doesn't mean that if you put it in a time zone, it won't fire the arrow again for you. Meaning right here, if we look at, where was last week's it happened? A couple days ago, actually a couple days ago. So here, I had it during power hour to fire at this level. So it had another big one though. It came outside. Your alarm will still go off. So if you just have the strategy trading between a certain time window, it will still go off, and it will fire the arrow with the alarm system there also. So just a neat little strategy. Like I said, it's called the outer edge window. You can see this morning or yesterday, Sal, good job by the way calling this out with trend. It's Sal or Aaron called this out with trend. One of you guys, but this was a nice trade because this is an outer edge with trend. Those are even better because we were outside a high value area. We broke out and it got running. That's an outer edge, outer edge. You can see outer edge, it likes to bounce. Your stop, let's go over stops. Stops would be below, on this last one, would be below your swing initially. I have on a 12 sim Renko, right here, 12 sim Renko, I have a 15 tick stop. So on this strategy, I have for you, I have a 15 tick stop. If you notice, you come into the strategy. I got my time windows right here. If you look at the time windows, get this out of the way. I've got a 15 tick hard stop. And then we got targets. I have 1,000 target here, but typically you want to do it like this. Here's what I'm going to send out to you guys. It'll be 8 tick target for the first target, break even plus 1 after the first target right here, break even plus 1, then 12 ticks, 20 ticks, and 1,000 ticks. I got 21 trail, 33, 33. So if I click that on and I statistically look at it, the last 30 day or 90 days, how it's performed on this algo, taking trades based upon only outer edge trades from the power hour of 9 to 11, then stat-wise, I'm going to show you exactly what we're looking at. You can see how we got rejected up here. So we had a trade here on the outer edge. Look how we never got pulled in. No yellow bar came. This is a trigger bar. This yellow is a trigger bar to get in. Just like back here on that big giant run we had yesterday, it gave us a yellow trigger bar right exactly when that bar closed. Our alarm went off, 81.5 all the way to 08, 30-point move. So an alarm went off here on this deep retracement there also. Now we didn't get one, we got rejected. So we're going to look to buy this breakout here this morning once it breaks out because we're above market profile. We're in an imbalanced market. So once we get outside of this level of 5108, we should get another buy set up to break us out to another level. So those are the two setups we like to do. Now, all the software program, the new software is already coded. Everything's done. You'll get 3 programs. You're going to get the outer edge trade, or what we call a slingshot. We're going to get the zone breakout trader, which is here, the sim zone breakout trader. And I added a bonus. I added a bonus, and it's a this one is a here's another bonus trade. This is a scalper. And we have a scalper also where it's going to scalp the market. It's going to scalp the market for you also. So this one, one second. Here's the Dow. So this will scalp the market for you. If I look at statistically speaking, they do very, very well scalping the market. Like I said, past performance is not indicative of future results, guys. This is educational software, but you can see it does very, very well on scalping. On as far as this is just the Dow, and I use 8 to 12 tick targets on these. But statistically speaking, over the last 90 days on both of these, they perform well. When you cannot use a scalper? You don't want to use it. You probably heard my other Ninja Trader. That's a scalper running in the background. You don't want to use it in. You don't want to use it at 5 minutes before news events, 5 minutes after news events. I mean, 5 minutes, that 10-minute window, 5 minutes prior to news events, and 5 minutes after news events. Or like it got stopped out yesterday right at the New York Open, and then it had a lot of trades that worked out after the New York Open. So I don't like running it at the New York Open also. That was one of my stop outs yesterday on it. It likes to trade in between there though. Anytime there's no news, you just run the scalper. It can be run 23 out of 24 hours a day. And it likes to scalp the market. You know, this is called my scalper trade. It'll be called Sim Scalper. So you'll get that also. Like I said, the performance, past performance is not indicative of future results, but you know, like I said, this is just scalping the market. It's around over 90+% over the last 90 days outside of news events. So that's something we'll do also. I will be shutting this off. All current members will all get this new scalper. I'm going to shut this new scalper off probably to a total of X amount of traders that come in. You'll still be able to get the this outer edge trade and the zone push trader, but the outer edge I'm only going to do with current members and new members that come in. I will have an X amount of members that get shut off. I'll probably shut off to 50 traders on the scalper. Only the reason being is that liquidity. I don't want to have liquidity problems with it if traders are trading at 2 a.m. in the morning or 6 p.m. at night. So because we're looking for a small little range. If a trader decides to leave the software, then you can be put on the list and then you can look for the scalper trade also. So this is one software I'm going to limit. These other software programs I will not. So just heads up on that as far as the scalper trade goes. But you current members, you are good to go. All right. Hey, good morning, Francisco. That's what we're looking at this morning. We're looking at, let's look at the past 90 days. This out of all the programs, okay, whether it be zone breakout or the scalper, I love this program here, the outer edge, because of the consistency of it, because the market loves to go on the outer edge of the market, outer edge, likes to explode out of it. But like statistically speaking, like I said, it's the power hour. I love the power hour. So if I go back and I look at power hour and I look at it and I look at the last 30 days, 1123 to 223. Now remember, past performance is not indicative of future results. This is educational software. I want to make sure we're clear with that we're not guaranteeing that this thing's going to do exactly what it did the last 90 days. And that's why you guys sign risk disclosures and risk disclaimers before you even attempt auto trading or strategy trading or so on. We all know that as traders, but just to make sure you're aware, we got to say those disclaimers to make sure that you guys are aware of that. But if you can look at it, statistically speaking, it has been kicking some major butt. I mean, if you look at this trader, it's been yesterday over 1,000 trade, 15, just in the last 3 days. This using my 8-tick target, 12-tick target, 20-tick target, 1,000-tick target with a 21 trail off of a 12 sim Renko. Statistically speaking, this thing has been on fire. If you look at it in the month of February by itself, and we look at the monthly total, it's just it's only February 23rd. Look what it's performed just off that right now. So it's done very, very well. And like I said, past performance is not indicative of future results, but at least you get an idea of why we back tested these zones for 30 years and how consistent this program is. And so I love this setup. You guys are starting to love this setup because you know the consistency of it. You know that if we get to the outer edge on the S&P, we're going to go. Now, what other markets have I tested the outer edge trade on? We only statistically tested the S&P the past 30 years. All right. So unfortunately, we had one of our long-term members that had an AI program that tested this for the past 3 years. We appreciate her doing that, and big thanks to her. Thank you for helping us out. Statistically speaking, these are the best zones that we come up with. All right, on the S&P, because it takes a while to run these AI programs and what have you. So we have not tested any other programs on the outer edge trade. Does it mean it? Does it mean it does? I mean, does it mean that it doesn't work on other programs? No. So the outer edge trade is still ran on these other programs. This is crude oil. Let's take a look at outer edge trades. So it still works on the outer edge trades. Here's an outer edge trade on crude oil. It gets to the outer edge, and it will still fire on these other markets. There's a big outer edge trade on crude oil, 77.57, got as high as what, 38. So just almost what, 80 tick move on crude oil. There's another outer edge trade on crude oil, so it still works, and your alarm will still go off on these other markets. There's another outer edge on crude oil at 9 o'clock. This is great. Left crude oil right after the pit opens at 9 o'clock. Another big trade on the outer edge trade, 76.84 potential all the way to 49. These are not scalping trades, guys. The outer edge trade, and the one thing I want you to get from this is the combos. The combo is you get the outer edge trade right into a zone breakout. I love when this happens. The combo, that's why we're waiting for another breakout currently on the S&P as we speak. I love it. It comes here, and it comes right into it. That's what happened on the S&P yesterday. This one almost hit the outer edge trade, but it never fired a yellow arrow because it never closed below it. I want deep retracements like that. So it still fires on these other markets. All right. Right now, crude oil, we had a zone breakdown and a zone breakdown today and a zone breakdown. So crude oil has had 3 zone breakdowns since the midnight last night. Big trade on the zone breakdown at 3 a.m. this morning. And here is your 6:30 breakdown, and we've had a breakdown at 8:06. What are these trail dots? These trail dots are just indicating the market is weak. The market is weak after a zone breakdown. Is showing that market has momentum to that side. That's what those mean. Okay. They do come up a lot on the Nasdaq futures. Now, if you look at the NASDAQ futures, we just had a zone outer edge trade at 805. I mean, they come up a lot. All right. If you're trading, if you look at this last trade, it's just a doozy. It just happened at 8 o'clock this morning. But what I want to get through to you guys is this. Well, for the NASDAQ to get so many trades, it's so fast. It is a wicked animal that, you know, you get so many trades. But I like this combination. I like it's going into an outer edge trade and then going into zone breakout. All right, outer edge zone breakout. My favorite market on the outer edge trade is the S&P. Why? It's the S&P because statistically speaking it performs the best because of what? There's volume in it. There's a lot of volume in the S&P. But it doesn't mean it doesn't work in other markets. These still work in all markets, whether it be any stock, any futures, any Forex, any currency. This even works on crypto. I looked at it with Bitcoin and other different markets. It works in those also. It's the same type of setup. So it works in universal and all markets right across the board. Okay, so that is the fastest market that we have in the room. This is the live room we're running now. This is the fastest market. If you're not used to trading fast markets, you don't want to trade the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is a fast beast. I mean, it's fast. You know, it moves so quick. So just heads up on that. But that's what you're going to get, guys. You can get the indicator and strategy. We're wrapping everything up for you members. You will get the zone. Like I said, the other one will get the bonus. There we go. We'll get the zone breakout, and then you'll get the most of you traders, since you're under the window, will get the bonus scalper also.